It's the NFL on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs. And it's coming up next on Madden NFL 24.
It is still summer in the Midwest and a pleasant summer day as we are set for football at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. Straight ahead, a rematch from Super Bowl 57 as it'll be the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, the wait is over. The regular season is upon us. It is kickoff weekend around the NFL. Our two teams here getting in a final tune-up, but let's look ahead to the 2023 season. What are you going to be watching for?
How about some of the recognizable new faces in new places? Aaron Rodgers, Derek Carr, Odell Beckham Jr. The identity of teams under new coaches in places like Houston, Carolina, Denver. Then, of course, the rookies. After the draft, we want to see how they perform.
And the opening kickoff will not be returned as that will be a touchback. So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes at MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
And we already knew that Hurts was a good quarterback, but last year, he moved to elite status. Under his guidance, the Eagles returned to the Super Bowl and nearly won it. And he's also one of the league's most dangerous players, thrown for 38 touchdowns his last two seasons and run for another 23.
Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Chiefs.
As you and I both know, one reason teams script plays to start a game is so they can practice them ahead of time. I will guarantee you that fumble was not in the script.
I think they had fumble written next to play one there.
No, that was never in the script because they want to have good memories when they go into a ball game, not something that could have gone wrong.
So here come the defending champs, led out by the reigning MVP of the National Football League, a two-time winner now in Patrick Mahomes.
And so often when you've stolen a possession, as they just did there,
on the first play,
picking up the fumble, the natural inclination is to attack, go after them big. Sometimes what you just want to do is put the ball in the hands of one of your best players in one of their favorite plays and establish your dominance that way.
And some space to move right away as he's all the way up to the 30. Give him 13 yards there and a Kansas City first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Mahomes' throw taken in by Valdez-Scantling. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another first down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. A man who re-signed with the Chiefs back in May. Here's Jerick McKinnon. And he tries to keep the legs churning, but he's going to be stopped behind the line.
An awful lot of congestion in the middle third of the field, but how about our defensive tackle right there? He didn't just hold the line. He provided some push and smacked the ball carrier down for a loss.
Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. It'll go as a gain of 4. 3rd and 7 now. So 7 yards from the first down here as they come up to the line of scrimmage. Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. 4th down now looming after Philly's defense stands tall in coverage.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good, and the Chiefs are out to a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this was all about letting the offense just get settled in.
And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. They fumbled the last time they had the football. Fortunate that it only led to a field goal. 3-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. For the former Seahawk, it's Rashad Penny. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Again, it's Penny. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. He'll get this out wide to Penny. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 14 yards there and an Eagle first down. So the completion there, and CD, as we know, trying to defend against an NFL quarterback, that's one thing. Trying to defend against a mobile NFL quarterback, that's quite another. What's the plan here defensively?
Well, the pass rush has to still try and get to him, and especially the guys on the edge, but they're going to go maybe a count slower, right? They want to make sure they don't get too far upfield where he steps up and takes off through a lane. The same is true for those interior guys as well. So you've got to change it up with him. Try and keep him hemmed into the pocket, and occasionally you throw a spy on him. A fast linebacker or one of your extra defensive backs who can dance with him a little bit if he takes off and runs.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. That's caught by Penny. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a second and about a foot. From the gun, it's Hurts. He gets it to his running back, Rashad Penny. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
Yeah, this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. Ball resting on the 10-yard line. It's 2nd and 1. They keep it on the ground. This time it's Penny. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A 5-yard gain there makes it 1st and goal.
That solid gainer will put them on the doorstep of the end zone. More importantly, it gives them a fresh set of downs. Nice work right there.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Hurts. And it's caught. And he is out of bounds here. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5. Penny is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia.
And as a defensive coordinator, you're almost in a no-win situation down here near the goal line. You know how dangerous Jalen Hurts is when he holds on to it. You've got to be prepared to stay with him. So when he hands it off, if you're slow in reacting, this is going to be the result.
On for the extra point, Jake Elliott. And this is up and good to make it 7-3. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And it's finished off by a Rashad Penny touchdown run. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Kansas City taking the field for their second drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield in man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like...
And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Isaiah Pacheco, 75 yards. And the Chiefs are once again back in front. They erased that deficit pretty quickly, did they not? A 2-play drive.
What do we call that? Short-lived?
Very.
Very short-lived. 2 plays later, they're in the end zone and back out in front. We always talk about drives, don't we? Does 2 plays count as a drive?
Not really, but that second play was so good. I don't care what we call it. It was enjoyable to watch. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown. Their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles' defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will.
Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. But it looks like one of the DBs has it. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. A lot of talk this week about ball security. In fact, they added an extra period in practice to be more secure with the ball. It didn't work out there.
Well, sometimes you just get overexcited during the game. You may all of a sudden make your catch, see some open field, and decide you're going for it. And not realizing the danger lurks while you're doing so, and there's your end result right there.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at the 45. It's caught inside the... The Chiefs now going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Mahomes now to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Kansas City. Marquez Valdez-Scantling, 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Chiefs will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Butker on for the PAT. It's good to make it 17-7. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. The Eagles offense going to take over late in this first half as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go here before intermission. They'll throw on first down with Hurts. They'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. They go right back to him for 20 and a first.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised they'll come right back to him again. They haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
On first down, Hurts. This short throw caught by Goddard. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here's a 2nd and 5. Here's Hurts to throw. To the sideline and incomplete. And that right there, his first incompletion of the game, pretty remarkable.
So let's start talking about all-time records, because with that incompletion, maybe over a 2-game sequence, or maybe starts a new streak now, because Ryan Tannehill, over 2 games, hit 25 straight. Now, the incompletion, we're taking this record off the play, but Mark Brunell, when he was at Washington, 22 straight completions to start a game. This guy is on fire.
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw. And nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Throwing is Hurts. Looking for A.J. Brown again, and he's got it again. And it looks like he'll be just a yard shy of the 5 here as he's out at the 6. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. The kick by Elliott is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So, yes, they'll still be down going into intermission, but the deficit is now made even smaller, very manageable.
Yeah, and if nothing haywire happens here in his last couple of precious seconds, they will go into the locker room with a nice bounce in their step, having gotten a little bit closer on the scoreboard.
4 seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. So we have reached halftime with a touchdown. That's the difference on the scoreboard. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, back to you guys in just a moment, but welcome everyone to our Creative Village studios in the EA Sports Halftime Report. In the first half, it was the reigning league MVP and Super Bowl MVP, Patrick Mahomes, who did his thing. He came on after a slow start to fire 2 second-quarter touchdown passes and give his guys the lead at the intermission. The final adjustments taking place here for both of these squads. They're about ready for the second half in Kansas City. And for the count, we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Chiefs ready to go on offense to begin quarter number 3. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime. And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But looks like they're ready to go.
And he'll be out of bounds right at the 40. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On first and 10, here's Pacheco. He'll take it past the 40 to the 41, second down.
Offense looked a little bit discouraged after that play, shaking their heads a bit, looking at each other. I think they thought they'd get a lot more out of that call. Sometimes you do get the running lane you want. And other times, the defensive front, they just break up the play before it can get going.
There he goes, right side. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Kadarius Toney, 59 yards. And the Chiefs go up by 2 touchdowns. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead now up to 14. So that drive, 4 plays. And it's Kadarius Toney who caps things with a touchdown reception. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. Got a man, it's Brown. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Hurts connecting there with Brown for the Eagles first. Running left, it's Penny. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
And deciding to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll try and run for it with Penny. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. 3 quarters in the books. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. We're back now in KC. It's the Eagles behind on the scoreboard, but with the football here as we start the 4th quarter. From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6. They'll look to throw here. Hurts fumbles it, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And his crew will take over with the football at the 35-yard line. That's some good yardage there, too, before he fumbled that football, Charles.
Yeah, just think about it this way. Running backs, as a general rule, they kind of know when the end of a run is near. And you notice how they cover up, right? They protect the football. Sometimes quarterbacks forget that out in the open field. After a while, you start to wonder, does the running back coach visit the quarterback coach and say, hey, I can help you with this. We can protect this and make sure we keep the ball.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. They'll start the drive here with Pacheco. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. The tackle by Nakobe Dean. got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game. They
follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on second down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down the game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Give him 13 yards there at a Kansas City first down.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on third down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, third down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Pacheco gets it up the gut. And good work there in open space. And he's got this all the way down now to the 32. A 14-yard gain there as they look to improve this 14-point lead.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
5 points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. Here's Mahomes now on the option right. Shoves him aside. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop. 1:50 left in the football game. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Here's Pacheco headed right. Even with that broken tackle, he'll be brought down short of the 15. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. He's going to get it again. Just looking to get forward and protect the ball. The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Mahomes looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now.
And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Kadarius Toney. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Chiefs have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
Extra point by Butker is on target, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. And the drive will begin at the 25 as Scott is going to stay in the end zone. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry.
Hurts throw complete here to his receiver, Brown.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
On third down, he'll drop to throw.
The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't come in. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Chiefs' defense comes up with a stop. Mahomes down to a knee, and that should just about write a finish to this one. So this one in the win column for Kansas City. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.